Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future. I'd like to encourage you to like the video, subscribe, and share it if it really speaks to your heart. And then to also leave a comment below and share with all of us a success story that you have in manifesting your SP. You may think that it's not that big, or it doesn't really matter if it's a big thing or a small thing, because whatever you share could resonate with someone and be significant, okay? So share something special that's taken place with you in manifesting your SP with all of us. I want to share with you today some information on living from the end. If you're walking around and if you're feeling nervous or insecure or wondering if you're doing everything right or why is it taking so long, then that's a really good sign that you are not living from the end. And it's important that in manifesting that we create imaginal scene in our imagination, and then we develop that into being what we want to experience with that SP person. And then we continue doing that in our imagination until it feels natural, and then we can move on. So you're planted the seed into your subconscious mind. So it's just a matter of any time of day, but often people talk about SATS or a state akin to sleep, but you can do that in the middle of the day if you have time to lay down and just get very, very drowsy, or just sit in your favorite chair and get very, very drowsy. And then start imagining something that maybe you've pre-scripted, that you already know that you're going to visualize. So you might have a scene of you and your SP celebrating a 1-year anniversary together, happy and blissful. Or a scene of the two of you sitting in bed or in your living room or at the dining table, and your SP is telling you how happy and grateful he or she is that you two are together, and it's such a blissful, wonderful, loving, committed relationship. So you create that according to what it is your heart's desiring, and then you stay with that in your imagination, being very vivid with everything, like all your senses, even your sixth sense, because you understand that the sixth sense, or our consciousness, is the real reality. And then also your taste and your smell and hearing and seeing, touch, all of those senses. Make it vivid and colorful if you want. Whatever you're capable of doing and is comfortable for you. And then repeat that over and over and over. There's no right or wrong. As long as it's from the end of what you want, you're okay, you're good. And then stay with that until it feels very natural. Till it feels as though you're really there and you're really expensive. And you will notice it, because you'll know, because your whole body's going to respond to this mental image, this vision in your mind, in your consciousness, because it's gonna start to feel, your heart might begin to race because you're excited and happy. You might get tingly, or you're just going to feel excited and loved, and all those good things. And when you're feeling all of that, because the feeling is so important, it just can't be rote, like you're just going through, a scene and then you're done, get up. No, it has to become real within you, using all of your, your imagination and your feelings. And then once you've done that, it's been planted into the subconscious mind, which then will be pushed out. But it's going to also need some support, that subconscious mind, because you're going to be confusing if you have a mental or a imaginal act that is saying one thing, and your words, your inner conversation, even your outer conversations, are saying the opposite. So you need to stay in alignment with your imaginal act, and then with your words. And so you're gonna it's a no-brainer. You need to say things like, in your mind, if you get a negative thought, no, I am with my SP. If you're hearing in the 3D from your SP that they want to just be friends with benefits, or just friends, period, or need time away for a while, take a break, and you're hearing that in your 3D reality from that person, but you have this imaginal act over here in your imagination and your consciousness, then you know which one is real, right? It's one over here with your imagination and your consciousness, not the 3D. And you also know, because you're so good at all of this, that whatever your SP is saying to you is only reflections from your past thoughts. And you also must know that your SP they have to, because they are in your reality, your universe, they must conform to your thoughts. So your inner conversations are dictating what those people are thinking and saying to you. So if they're saying things that you're not liking right now, that they're not in alignment with your vision, well, it's just from past thoughts. Okay, acknowledge that. Fine, I did that. Okay, fine, great. I am moving on now. Now is the time when I create. So you can listen to that person tell you they want space and they want to move on or whatever it may be. And inside you're saying, no, sorry about that, but I'm in control here. You have to conform to me. And you and I are in a loving, committed relationship because it's my reality. And you are a great, amazing creator. All right, so then you have your imaginal act. You're going to support it with thoughts like that, no matter what's thrown at you, whether it's a thought that just passes through your mind where you start to feel doubt, or if the 3D just throw stuff at you, or your SP says something to you that's contrary to your imaginal act, you stay on a good mental diet, insisting and living from the end only. It is so important if you want your manifestation to manifest. And all you're really doing when you don't stay, it will manifest, but it may take a while. It's slowing the process down. So stay, don't waver back and forth. One day or 1 minute you are like, oh yeah, I got this, I've got this, and and you're my SP, you're my future husband, or whatever it is you want, a future wife, whatever you want. And then the next moment, oh my gosh, this is taking so long. I wonder if I'm doing everything right, or just the fear, what if they ghost me? Those things are not staying on a mental diet, for one, and they're not living from the end. And we need to stay the course of doing both those things. We need to, and it's a matter of mental discipline. You need to discipline your mind. It wants to just go where it wants. And sometimes our egos, often what I will do, if I have a situation with a person, and not necessarily an SP, and this friend is saying and doing things that I created, only I don't like it, in the 3D, and I wanted to get back to a place of peace and joy and love. Well, my ego's fighting me, yeah, but they're being self-centered, and they're being consuming of your time, they're being obsessive, and I'm like, and then there's this other side of me saying, yeah, but you created that with your thoughts somewhere, somehow. So finally I'm able to, and it doesn't take long, but you do have to kind of sit down with yourself and say, look, here's what we're going to think. Here's what we're going to do. This is the life we are going to live and choose. We're not just going to ramble on and continue creating all those things we don't like in our life anymore. We are living from this vision, and we are going to support this vision with our mental diet. You and I'm in control of you, and you and I are going to do this. And you can just let your ego go off sulking because you are the master creator, and your higher self, you, the perfect, wonderful you, are going to create what you want through your vision or your imaginal act, your inner conversations, and sticking to it, being persistent and living from joy and love and peace. If you are doing those things, the mental image and the mental diet, you're going to start living from a place of love. When you see your SP, instead of feeling resentment because they haven't really, said and done the things you want because you created that, but it's showing up in your 3D and you're not liking it. Well, don't live from resentment, live from love, and when you see them out with somebody else and there's a 3D, there's a third party, well, don't feel sad or rejected. Feel joy and rejoice, because you have this imaginary act that is going to manifest into your life, and that's just past stuff. It doesn't matter. That it's fake. It's not real. And then the other thing is peace with your inner conversation. When you get thoughts that are contrary to your imaginal act, and they cause you to feel insecure and frightened and triggered to run and do something and try to hang on to that person, because the 3D is showing you things that are not pleasant at the moment, well, you don't want to live from that place. You want to live from peace. So when you're truly living from the end, and it is something that you have to make a concerted effort to do, no one can do it for you, and you have to stay on top of it all the time. If you fall off the wagon, get back up. It's not that horrible. You have a thought that wasn't so good and you fell into it and you had a little imaginal act about it and you became frightened and fearful, and then all of a sudden you caught yourself. What do? You just go back in, create the whole thing over, go back in and remember, no, this is what I'm doing. This is where we are. This is what my imaginal act is. And you get back on the wagon. You get back up and keep going, and not worry about it. Don't fret over it. Just know that you have a thought that's not so pleasant. Change it. That's really, we create things so easily that are negative. We create the third parties. We create people being upset with us or wanting or ghosting us so easily with a simple thought because of the fear and the anxiety and the charge, the emotional charge that's with all of that. But it's no more difficult to do the opposite. You just give it the emotional charge it needs and stay on top of it, and don't allow yourself to drop down or dip down into those negative places. So imaginal act and support it with your inner conversation. No matter what the 3D is showing you, remember it's only a reflection of your past thoughts, and the imaginal act and the inner conversations that you are doing now that are in total alignment with what your heart is desiring with that person will become your new 3D reality, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And also I want to encourage you to understand that when you go into your consciousness through your imagination and you experience that wonderful imaginal scene, you are feeling it now. And guess what? You're feeling being with your SP now. It takes away the loneliness. It takes away the longing. It takes away the feelings of rejection, and you need to understand that when you're feeling those things, those are the true feelings. Because, the 3D, the feelings you get with that, you're having feelings for something that really doesn't exist anymore. It's just fake. It's not real. So go to your consciousness, go to your imagination, and go there and create an image of what you want, and experience that and feel that. And you're gonna have your SP right now. There's no waiting. And then in time, it will show up in your 3D reality. It does, the negative stuff shows up. This is going to show up too, but you want to focus here and keep all your thoughts on this and ignore or acknowledge, but let go of anything that's showing up in the 3D right now. And those thoughts that want to bug you to think negative, tell yourself, nope, we are not doing that anymore. We've got a vision. We have these inner conversations that are going to create the life we want to experience. And that's talking to yourself, by the way. Anyway, if you like this video, please consider coaching with me. I am offering 50% off right now, so it's a good time to coach. Blessings, and I intend that you become a great manifester using your imagination and your inner conversations and trusting your abilities as a powerful creator.